Okay, so apologies for your eardrums being ruptured, but yeah, the last game of the evening, a pizza delivery. Like a lot of indie games, and there's really the only thing I can say about the game that I didn't like, is the limited ability to change the sound. Something common in indie games, so I'm not going to hold it against it too much. But I wanted to check this game out just because it had a really unique look and feel. And it also had a lot of supernatural themes, and it seemed like a slice of life style game. But there are some darker undertones in the game as well. So it does have a really surreal style of storytelling, and I just found it a really unique game. So this one comes from the guys at JF Games, and again, like the last game, this isn't normally a game I would play. I find, as I talk more with publishers, and as I get a lot of games sent to me, I can cherry pick the ones that look really unique. And this game is one of them. It just looked really different to all of the other games. In a sea of games with just another zombie survival game, another base building game. I like all those games, but sometimes I just want something that just feels like it's completely unique. It's a different style of game, and this game really jumped out at me as one I might want to try, because it starts off as just you simply delivering pizzas, but obviously there's a lot more to it than that. But I'm going to jump in. This is one of those games that is best enjoyed if you see the opening of the game. I'm about halfway through, but I don't mind going back and starting it again. Just because there's a lot of story to the game, and if I started from where I left off, you'd be completely lost. Now, basically, when I first started the game, I thought, is this it? We're just running around with a pizza, giving people, their order, and the games are going to get really, really boring really fast. But stick with it. A broken clock? Whoops. Well, you know what they say, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Who is it? Pizza delivery for Ben. Great, just in time, I'm pretty hungry. Leave the pizza on the floor, please. The pizza's already paid for. Aren't you going to open the door? Do me a big favour and leave it on the floor, please. Okay. Have a good day. You too, bye. So I guess we drop the pizza and we head on our way. Now, this is when I started the game. I'm like, oh, okay, is this the whole game? We're just going to be delivering pizzas. Obviously, I read the Steam store and I had a bit of an idea of what I was in for, but you do have to stick with it. The game it's one of those games that starts off very slow, but as you get further into the game and the game world expands, and the surrealist style visuals start to show, that's when it gets really interesting. Because I must admit, I played this opening level and I was like, oh, okay, yep. But I wasn't super thrilled. It wasn't. There's a section later on, and I don't want to give it away, but it involves a supernatural style level with this really interesting landscape. You'll know it when you see it immediately. That's where the game sucked me in. Hello, who are you? I'm Earl. I'll call now and see how the next delivery goes. Hi, Earl. The first delivery was... Everything okay? Well, it was weird. The customer seemed... distant. You know I'm writing a novel. At the moment I'm looking for ideas. It can't be that hard, right? Let's ask where we are. I can't answer that. When I get lost, I don't know this place. Follow the post until you see a doorway. It's there. The pizza for the customer is in the green box. I've left an extra pizza in the red box. You can share a slice of that one with people you meet. The key to the door is under a rock next to it. Good luck. So that's, I mean, the game doesn't tell you anything, and you basically just drive around delivering pizzas. And at first I was like, oh, is this the whole game? But if you stick with it, there's actually some interesting puzzle elements to the game. It's pretty cleverly put together. Also, the soundtrack, whoever did the soundtrack, deserves a raise. I'm really surprised this game didn't hit the consoles. Again, I'm sorry about it being a bit loud. It's just that sound normalization isn't something that's done very well in the game. It's probably the only thing I can say against it. Okay, there's the key. Under a fake rock. Does anyone do that? Does anyone actually have a fake rock? Like, or you just like... I mean, obviously now a lot of people use electronic keys, but... I mean, usually those fake rocks are really easy to see. I had a mate who was like swore by his fake rock and his house just kept getting robbed. And he's like, how do they know the key is under a fake rock? And I'm like, if you have a look in your garden and you got a bunch of rocks and one is like really obviously fake, it doesn't take a genius to figure out where the key is. Okay, let's head on in. We can't bring the pizza in just yet. Let's grab a beer. Looks like someone's been drinking. I could use a drink right now. I wonder if my coffee's gone cold. It is lukewarm. Disgusting. But better than no coffee at all. It looks like a page from a diary. I'm tired of this place. Every day is the same. Even living in the sanctuary, I can't find it. Yesterday, Taro called me. I'd been away a few days and he was worried about me. I still don't know how to tell him I want to quit. I think I've thrown all the drain levers in the water. I'm going to let this place get totally flooded. Sounds like a reasonable adult thing to do if you don't like your job. Harmonica, the key. The name of Clarence. Looks like an amulet of some kind. There's a flower drawn in the middle. I think they didn't throw out all the levers. We'll take it. Now, granted, the puzzle solving in this game, it's not going to like blow your mind, but I think it's the overall vibe of the game. It's got a really unique look and feel, the cel-shaded approach. Now, I'm not a big fan of cel-shaded in most cases. I just don't think it works too well with certain games. But for this game, it works really well. It grew on me. This game kind of reminded me of a indie game I played a while back called Far Lone Sales, which was it was more of a post-apocalyptic game, but it had a very similar vibe to this, and you would just kind of You were just trying to go from one end of the world to the other, and you used similar to the delivery person. This, you used a vehicle, you drove around, but you could get out and solve puzzles. And oh, here we go. Feeling stuck. You feel like you're stuck in a routine, unable to move forward in your personal or professional life. Are you tired of feeling stagnant and unfulfilled? If so, Feeling Stuck is the book for you. Okay? It was pretty bad. Well, a lot of those self-help books, I guess it depends. There's some good ones out there, but 90% of them are rubbish. Now, what else do I have to do in here? We'll head back and have a look. Oh, in all these games, you know the sequences where you have to shimmy between walls? It always freaks me out, because I know a lot of people may not know about him, but one of my favourite manga authors is Junji Ito, and he had this book where it was called The Enigma of Amigara Falls or Fault, and it was a horror where like all these people in a rock face, there was like a silhouette or a hole that matched the person's body completely, and people were compelled to like walk into these holes, but the holes were so tight, once you got stuck in the hole, you just basically were stuck, and you the only way you could move is forward deeper into the hole. And it was I don't know, it sounds really stupid when you, like, a lot of the concepts of Junji Ito kind of seem stupid when you describe them, but the comic's brilliant. But yeah, it was horrible. You just go into this like hole and you're stuck, and then you can't get out, and then you just basically move forward into this hole until you're dead, or you know, horribly twisted and disfigured. Anyway, my anecdote about Junji Ito lost me a few viewers, so I'm gonna shut up. Now this part here, this is like, up until this point, I was like, yeah, it's okay. Like, you know, it's not bad, it's not good, it's just gonna... And I hit this part, and I'm like, okay, alright. Right about now, this is when I was like, yeah, okay, I was wrong about this game. So, I expected some sort of backrooms style world with, you know, monsters and that. But this is even scarier, because it's basically an empty world. There's just nothing here. Can you hear me? Yes. Why am I here? Why? You're out for a delivery. Up ahead you'll find some coloured lights. The way goes from there. Remember, you can share a slice of pizza with anyone you meet. You just have to talk to them while you hold the pizza. A word of advice, try to avoid sitting on the benches around here. Good luck. Well, you know we've got to try. I'm curious. I actually did sit on one, but I didn't stay on one too long. I'm just curious what happens. We'll stick here for about a minute and see. Ooh, you actually have to... You have to struggle to get off the bench. And I don't know if it's because of the bench, but look at my character. Oh, my skin was changing. I'm curious. Look at that. Look at my skin. And then once you get off the bench, you go back to normal. I didn't notice that little detail. Yeah, I didn't know that, Lukey. I just the first time I was like, oh, that's an interesting touch, but yeah, look, I'll do it one more time. Look at the character. You just change color. See, I knew there was a reason why I mentioned Junji Ito. I don't know if the developers were inspired by him, but I'm just thinking it's a game where you're just delivering pizzas, and we get this whole horror vibe. And it's not even like intentional horror. I think it's just kind of the, you know, the I was reading this article on, because I love horror, obviously, on the concept of empty worlds as a horror thing, like, you know, like a city where there's just nothing there. So no monsters, zombies. It's just basically you're in this giant city, this landscape, and there's just literally nothing there. No people, no animals, just silence, buildings. I don't know. It's it just feels really eerie. Look at this. Like, and there's no jump scares here. All it is just basically this city at night. And all the buildings are dark, and the only light is from these lampposts. It just works. I don't know. Let's go have a chat to one of the locals. Ooh, I don't know the password. Not yet, anyway. We'll come back here later. And you can see there's these apartments full of TVs. They're just basically watching the streets. No one's in there. No people are in there. Just TVs everywhere. No, I'm pretty sure it's not pepperoni, but good guess. Yeah, this game, it has this really unique sort of. I don't even think it's trying to be a horror game, but sometimes it feels like you're playing one. And I think that's what got me into the game, because like it is not marketed as a horror game. And you can see this guy's being consumed by the same whether it's the benches or whatever it is that keeps you anchored here. This guy's being partially consumed by it, so we're going to talk to him. So you've ended up here too. It looks like it, and I have no idea what this is. Are you passing through? Yes, I have to deliver a pizza. I don't think it's so bad here. Staying, I mean. You gradually let this world live with you. Let this feeling live with you. What feeling? Have you tried sitting on one of those benches? Indeed I have. It's very strange. It was like I couldn't stop remembering. Isn't it great? Now, if we can either encourage him to stay here, or we can try and get him to move forward with his life. Obviously, option 2 is more preferable. So we're going to say, I don't think it's a good thing to think about the past all day. I don't like living the past. Maybe you're right. Now we can actually, what I forgot is we go and get our pizza, and we can give him a bit of pizza, and that will, I don't know, it helps his existential crisis. The pepperonis, as Licky said. Give him some pepperoni. Pizza? Thank you. It's cold. Of course it's cold. Look where we are. I didn't remember how it tasted anymore. Thank you. I was thinking, I don't think staying here is a solution. Maybe. I had to take a step backwards, so I could take two forward. Well, I have to go. There's another cold pizza waiting to be delivered. You know, I think I'll leave too. What's your name? B, what's yours? I'm called Nobi. By the way, I found a photo on the ground. It looks like somewhere nearby. It might be useful for you. Thank you. See you around, Nobi. So that's our next objective. And one of the cool things about the game is, if you see an area in the world and then you find a picture of that area, when you look at the picture, it will add all the details that are in the picture of that area. So you can go back and explore it a second time, and then you'll find additional details, additional items. This game, it starts off as a really simple, you're just basically delivering a pizza, but it soon becomes a lot more complicated than that, which I like. I mean, I can't deny it's a very cleverly made game. And usually these sort of games, I mean, I play them a bit more than I used to, but I wouldn't go out of my way to play something like this. So it has to be interesting. This dummy, it's like my niece's one. Ah, here's the building. This LP. I used to listen to it every morning at home with my parents. It was my father's favourite. I'm trying to see the name of the album. La Francesca Tunta? I'm guessing it's Italian music. Opera. Hey, wait, could that be the password? Aaron? Arrow. Let's check it out. So you're a little bit off, Lukey, on the password. Just a little. One thing I will mention too, this game has some really interesting chase sequences. I'm not giving too much away by saying that, but there are some chase sequences in this game, and they're actually really good. Even though your car kind of handles like a brick on a leash. Drumsticks. It looks like someone smashed them up. Wow, a calculus prize. Okay, this belongs to the kid, Nobi's. Someone was Mum's favourite child. It looks like the scribbles were added later. And it appears there are some excrement on the cup, or a drawing of such. A notebook full of scribbled formula. Sometimes people need to explore their creative side. can relate. Okay, let's go and check out the password back here. Let's see. Okay. A R R O W. Oh. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? A R R O W. Ah, there we go. We got it. There's actually the achievement there. I think I missed this the first time I played the game. Yeah, I definitely missed this. I agreed to do a last delivery. Taro was very insistent on doing him a favour. They haven't found anyone to do deliveries. It's weird. This room is full of people, but nobody speaks. There's something familiar about them. I have to get out of here. Get a music box. I'm curious. Where do I... Oh, that's cool. That's just a... Like, the game does some really clever stuff with visuals. I don't know if you noticed, but they moved. They all leaned forward when I walked through the middle. Like I said, this game, it's not even a horror game, but it plays like one sometimes. Okay, I've got one more puzzle to do. Yeah, this is like I know that JF Games they've released some interesting stuff, and this is normally not what I would expect JF Games to put out in terms of a game. It's not in their wheelhouse either, but I'm really glad they reached out to me to play this because I enjoyed it way more than I expected to. Way more. Okay, so we need to find one more item, which is I believe, here it is. Starfish made out of clay. Beautiful. That's the last piece I need. And if you were paying attention, that will go on the back here. Yep, here we go. and we'll place... why won't it work? It's weird. Try and move this. I found a bug. I've literally got the starfish. You can see it on my on the back of my pants, but I can't open this door. And I opened this last time I played the game, so we found a bug. Interesting. JF Games might be interested in seeing that. So it appears that this door, for whatever reason, I can't open it, even though I have the requisite key. That's a shame. I've already got the achievement. I've done it in the last playthrough, but that's actually broken. Let's just move this out a bit. I'm going to try one more time. Actually, I'm curious if I let me try and exit the game. I'm hoping I don't lose too much progress, but I just want to make sure it's... Oh, I have to do the whole thing again, do I? It's going to make me do the whole thing again. Okay. Alright, well I guess we'll test if that's broken. Because that's a really important thing for them to know. We're going to skip all this, so... Because we already know. What we need to do... Okay. And I'm going to try and open that door first, before we do anything else. So I'm not even going to talk to the homie up here. I'm going to go straight for that starfish. And we're going to unlock that door straight up. And if it doesn't work, we've got a bug. And I'm sure the check will be in the mail from the publisher. Free QA from yours truly. It's all good. I do it for love of the game. Okay, so I've got the starfish now. Let's go test this bug, shall we? Fingers crossed. Oh, okay. I mean, still a bug, but... Okay, we've got our handle. And now we just have to go and solve all the other puzzles. Let's go. I mean, still a bug, but it's good to know there is a workaround. It just involves you having to replay the whole chapter again, and possibly you need to open that before you do anything else, because that's the only difference I can remember. It was to do with the sequence of when I did the puzzle. Maybe doing it first results in it working properly. I'm only speculating. That's literally the only thing I changed. That's one of the only issues with indie games. I mean, I love indie games, and I always will. But they just don't have the budget for QA. And there's plenty of game studios that can hire 10, 20 QA testers to work on the games. But indie games, they don't have the money for it. One day, who knows? Maybe I'll get into indie testing. I mean, I do a little bit with the small indie studios, but the money's just not in it for a QA. Like, unless I was working with like 10, 20, 30 different indie devs, it's just because they don't have the budget. If you're trying to get your game onto Steam, you don't have the money to pay a QA tester full time because they're not cheap. So a lot of games, they just don't have the QA, and a lot of these bugs and issues get in. Now, I will take that over a AAA game any day of the week. I'm not complaining. I would rather play a buggy indie game than a soulless AAA game. I'll take this game's bugs any day of the week. But it's one of those things. No, unfortunately, you just don't have the money, the budget, the resources to hire QA, and that's why you find in indie games there's a lot more bugs. They're a lot rougher. But then again, you get a AAA game that's it just feels like you're pulling teeth every time you play the game. I mean, I'm picking on Silent Hill, but I played the new Silent Hill game and I was like over it in like 10 minutes. Oh, can I not talk to this guy now? Oh, there we go. I was a bit worried. Okay, we're gonna skip past all this because we already spoke to him last time. Okay, let's get him his pizza. We've already done this, so I can skip straight past. Smash a pizza. Man, that is... He absolutely wrecked that pizza. 3 bites. Okay, off you go, Nobi. Okay, that has unlocked the next area where we get the password, which we already know, but we'll go and get it anyway, because the last thing I want to do is have another bug preventing me from opening a door. I don't want to do this a third time, as much as I enjoy the game. I'd rather not repeat this section 3 times tonight. Okay, we've already done this, so we just have to do this section here. Also, I've got to find where this handle goes. Went to all the trouble of getting one. No handle in here. No. We want a lever, not a handle. We've got the handle. We need a lever. None of those in sight. The music in this game, I think I already mentioned, is top notch. And it kind of had some Silent Hill vibes with, you know, the empty city and the fog. Really well done. And I know they wanted some kind of horror vibes in the game, but just having this, you know, the giant empty city and the fog and the concept of all these people trapped here, it works really well. If you wanted to actually make this into a horror game, you probably could. Okay. And when you think about it, these are all the people that are stuck. These are all people stuck here for eternity. There is an achievement to get all of the music boxes, so I missed this one on the last run. So I have quite finished the game. I'm about 2/3 of the way through, and I thought about streaming where I was at, but there's this. I wanted to show you this opening because this is what got me to enjoy it. Really locked down and want to finish the game. It was this area here going into the city, and then yeah, just seeing this giant empty landscape. Unintentional horror, that's probably the first. I don't know if it's like straight horror, but it's definitely very unnerving driving around in the city with just nothing in it. That's one of the things in video games, like, you know, when you have these giant landscapes where everything's empty. Usually that's something I don't like. Like, especially when I'm playing an open world game and I'm exploring a giant... like, if you're playing something like Stalker, that's different. Like, you expect to see these cities because abandoned, because, you know, they're meant to be empty. But generally in open world games, if you don't have NPCs running around doing their thing and people just living their lives, the game can feel very soulless. But this kind of turns it on its head because it's deliberately done that. It wants you to have that feel the game's soulless. There's nothing in it. You know, this giant empty world with just nothing but vast open spaces. It's a clever idea. Well, for the life of me, I can't figure out where I'm supposed to use this handle. Apparently I've got to use the handle somewhere, but... yeah, I got it out of there. Let's go check this one out. We'll do this the end of this chapter, and then I think I'll have to call it a night. So I've done pretty well considering how sick I am. Streaming while half dead. But I couldn't do it last week. And I have such a massive backlog. I was like, I can't leave it for a week, or I'll just get further and further behind. First world problems. This stream's been really popular. Oop. Yeah, I've already got a bunch of games lined up for next week, so That's not including whatever JF Games or any other companies decide to send to me. It's a good problem to have. I'm spoiled for choice. And with Christmas coming up, I'll have a bit more time to cover these. Well, I hope. It'd help if I wasn't sick, too. Well, we'll do one more run and I'm going to move into the next area because, for the life of me, I cannot see where I am supposed to use this lever. I don't recall if I use it here or in the next area, so I'm just going to have a bit of a look in here because I've checked the rest of the city. I've driven up and down there 5 times now, so I'm pretty sure if we have to use this lever here, it's either it's in the next area or it's hidden so well I can't find it. So I guess we'll find out if the lever disappears, then I was supposed to use it here. It's not here. No, no lever. There's a busted fence there, though. Oh, I can't get to it. It's decorative. I can't get through there. Unfortunately. Nope. Okay, I guess we'll move on to the next area. Get out of this hellscape and go find another one. Okay, and this is pretty tough. We have to get all the lights in one continuous run. And this bike is, as you can see, it slides around like it's had a couple of dubs. Yeah, if I try and work. Nah. You kind of got to hit the right angle and it'll open the portal. There we go. I did the trick. Let's get out of this nightmare hellscape. Ah, here we go. That's what we need the lever for. Oh, we didn't leave anything behind. Now this is creepy. Giant field of stop signs. I feel like I have to make some sort of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Dio joke at this point, but I think that would derail the horror. Okay, Mr. Bike. Stay here while I meet my destiny. Yeah, this game it's very minimalistic in its visual style, but it just works. Now, I was sitting here going round and round and round. The solution is, of course, to turn around and go back the way you came. And there we go. Like I said, the puzzles are, you know, they're not super difficult, but they're all a means to further the game's surreal visual style like this. It's kind of like a Alice in Wonderland style story sometimes. And the world is not always friendly. We made it. I was going to end the stream here, but I figured we'll do one more section because I want to give this game a fair shake. That is really cool with that. And this section isn't super long, so we'll do this one and then we'll call it a day. And this game isn't super long. It's not about the length of the game. It's kind of about the experience of playing it. Where were you? I've been calling for ages. I thought something happened to you. I'm fine, Earl. It's just I got sidetracked. No problem. There's a tunnel straight to the customer's house, but you'll have to get to it through the cemetery. Creepy. Remember, you can share pizza with anyone you meet. Be sure to take it with you. And by the way, be careful if it rains. You should take the pizza out in a sheltered place. No one likes wet pizza. Cold maybe, but never wet. Good luck. Depends on the pizza, I guess. I don't know. I don't mind cold pizza. It depends on the pizza. My favourite pizza's either tropical, which is I think they call it Hawaiian. It's like a ham cheese and pineapple with prawns. People usually disgusted when they hear that, but that's my favourite pizza. Followed by pepperoni. Okay, so here is our next customer. But the challenge is, how do we get him his pizza without it getting wet? Because it's raining. Hi, what brings you here? Hello. I hope I didn't interrupt anything. I'm not from around here, I'm delivering a pizza. Yum, I haven't had one for centuries. Which way do you have to go? I have to cross the cemetery. And I have the key. Why do you want to go? A family member to say goodbye to? No, I just have to go through the tunnel that's in there. The secret entrance to the tunnel, of course. Let's make a deal. If you can skip a stone farther than me, I'll let you have the key. Deal? Deal. Not bad. Let's see if I can do better. Now, that's just the first round. Not too bad, rookie. I'll show you how it's done. Yeah, boy. It looks like you've got the hang of it, but it's not over yet. Looks like we have to go for 8 bounces or more. And that is how it's done. Okay, like I said, a deal is a deal. Here you are. Good luck, girl. I hope you find your answers. See you. A letter from Database Corp. It looks like a family photo. So this guy had looks like a wife and a child at some point. Well, I know, but you guys are going to find out soon. Oh man, I thought I'd actually go through a stream without getting a smooth brain. Putting ads for viewers on. I get one every stream, but I thought tonight might be the first time I ever get one without. Made it 5 hours to start. Okay, now I've got the key to the cemetery. I should be able to open the gate. Here we go. And we boogaloo through here. Bring the man his pizza. Whoa. Yeah, the bike controls are a little bit fuzzy sometimes. Okay, we can't go that way. Pizza will get wet. Now, before I go and deliver his pizza, we're just going to have a quick look up here. Just because I think there's a point of interest. This game has a ton of easy to get achievements too. I'm just getting them one after another. What pretty flowers. They smell like the ones in Grandmother's Garden. Yeah, I'm just busting out achievement after achievement. That wasn't available in the game. They've only just added achievements in. And that's the funny part, because like I've already played these sections. So I'm now getting I got a ton of achievements just by booting up the game, but I also have in the middle of doing this streams just been seeing achievements going ding 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 as I've played. I'm not hugely obsessive with achievements. It depends on the game. Okay, we'll chuck the pizza there. Now, of course, the puzzle is how do we get through safely and get the pizza to the customer without it getting too wet. And the answer is to use these sections of tin to keep the pizza nice and dry. Whoop. There you go, sir. I've seen the photo you've got next to you. You're a bit nosy, aren't you? She was my girlfriend. Well, my fiancée. What happened to her? Oh, nothing. She isn't dead or anything like that. She left me. Well, sometimes you feel even though your relationship is perfect, and despite being with a good person, you feel like something's missing. What do you do in that situation? Not cheat, that's for sure. I suppose that's fair. Have you ever had a partner? I was with a girl over a year ago, but it didn't work out. It was as if we spoke different languages. Oh well. Someday we'll find the one. Or maybe there's no such thing. One also has to learn to be alone. This game hits different. It's actually got a really interesting... all the characters are really well fleshed out. It says a lot with very little dialogue. These days I just want to be a good father. I might not have been the greatest husband, but I'd like to be a good father. I'm sure you'll be able to. Thanks for listening. The letter. Well, I was fired. Is that why you're here? Nobody's here for anything like that. Why did they fire you? You know, these days I can give you the boot for anything. So why are you dressed as a pizza delivery girl? I should be delivering a pizza right now. I love pizza. Pizza? Always. Don't you feel like everything is happening very fast? This guy's got like anime character style here. It's like it's a train in motion. A fast express train with no stop. I think I should get going. You know, I think I'll leave too. See you. So we have helped this man to move on. Obviously, you know, his story was, it's pretty common. It's something that you see a lot in the real world. Guy has a family, guy makes a mistake, and as a result, you know, the family breaks up, and often it's the kids are the ones that suffer the most. But yeah, it's all the characters are very human in this, which is a bit funny because it's a game where a lot of characters aren't human; they're ghosts. But you know what I mean. I'm so used to AAA games just, you know, hand feeding me a dialogue. It's just nice occasionally to have a game that doesn't treat you like you're stupid. Which is why I like games like this. They're very clever. They use very limited resources to tell a very interesting story. Oops. That'll buff right out. So here we have the exit to hopefully the real world. Oop, if my floaty bike would actually go through the exit. There we go. I'm not driving this bad on purpose. It's just the controls for the motorbike are a little bit janky, but it's not a really big deal because most of the time you're not, apart from the chase sequences, which are few and far between. It's all about exploration, so... And when I say the game has a very minimalist view, you get to a section like this where you can, you know, it's quite jaw-dropping. This is very, very nice. I mean, I can't say anything else except wow. It's just, if this doesn't make you want to buy the game, then there's probably nothing I can say that's going to convince you. Hey B, you're nearly there. It's dark now. Don't worry. I just can't get the main character story right. I've been thinking of this story for years, but now, when it's time to write it, it just isn't coming out like I thought it would. I don't know if I can finish this book, B. It's all down to you.